/ intimidating.
Oh, I
Are
thought
those
you were gonna
Beats?
say no. These are the Apple the Apple headphones.
Those are gnarly. Are they
No, yeah,
wireless? Yeah, they're clearly wireless, I think.
yeah. They're basically like Beats but made through Apple.
Yeah.
I think the Apple Pro.
Are you a fan of those?
Yeah, I mean they're sick because I could hit a button and I could literally go completely like can't hear a single thing other than what's going through my headphones.
The super mega noise canceling, I'm probably just a wuss, but it kind of like freaks me out. I'm like, I need a little ambient noise.
Yeah, like I don't know. I can't hear a single thing when I hit the noise canceling. It's like I'm in a like a quiet room.
Yeah. What do they call those? Oh man, forget the
Like,
name.
what do they call those?
There's this fancy word for it where like there's literally no sound, and if you stay in it for an hour, you go crazy or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm thinking of, but I can't think of the name.
Someone in the chat, bail us out. Who's a professional sound acoustic engineer? Welcome to the Dub Club TV pre-show, esteemed listeners. Let's do a little get to know the hosts as we get started. Who wants to go first?
I'll
go.
I can take a hack.
I'll
All right,
go ahead.
P down, you're up. Nick, you're up
Sure.
next.
Sure. My name's Patrick. I go by P-Down829. I've been with Dub Club about a year. Mainly got my popularity from Pickett. I love all bets. I love straights, promos, totals. Just looking forward to this slate we have coming up for March Madness. I'm in Kansas City. I love the Jayhawks.
Ooh,
We'll see if Darren Peterson decides to play a full 40 minutes on Thursday. So just looking forward to the games coming up.
You just had one of the best intro sentences, I think, in the history of Dub Club.
Yeah, that was smooth.
I love
that was
all bets.
really smooth.
Yeah, it was really good. I love all bets.
Yeah,
I love all bets too.
My tagline is you miss 100% of the bets you don't place. So that's what Michael Jordan or Michael Scott from The Office kind of vibe. But yeah, all bets are great bets in my opinion.
Your background is unique, so I want to actually do a double click. You said you kind of blew up on Pickett, which is kind of rare. Like, I love Pickett. It's a great product. I use it all the time. Most people use it kind of individually to track their own performance,
right?
And to kind of like odds compare, basic stuff like that. They have a social feed where I've never seen anyone have the kind of following on Pickett that you did. Why do you think you had such a big your Pickett was better than your Twitter, which is kind of like unprecedented.
10x bigger than my Twitter. The big thing was just when I downloaded it in April. Like you said, I just wanted to use it to track my bets. I'm pretty frugal, so I want to make sure I'm making money doing this. So that's why I downloaded it. But then I just started like sharing my plays every morning. I called them coffee bets. I just shared them. Each week it seemed like 10 more followers, the next week 100 more followers, and then once football came, I think it was the 2024 season, I just had a crazy NFL season. Everyone tailed all the plays, so it just boomed after that. It also helped that I'm a Chiefs fan and they did phenomenal. So that's really where it happened, is where I just every morning 7 a.m. shared my 3 favorite bets and just kind of went from there.
What an epic story. Very impressive. And a first-time DCTV guest. So I think that's everybody on the stream's first time on DCTV. You're like now at the mountaintop.
Love it.
All right, now let's go over to the overseas legend over in the corner there. 11 bets. Give us kind of your background, how long you've been with Dub Club, the kinds of markets you like to cover. Introduce yourself to the listeners at home.
My name is Nick, also known as 11 Bets. I mainly do, like right now, it's big college season, college basketball, but I'll dabble in the Chinese basketball market. And then I think next week, actually, KBO starts. And that's kind of what got me kickstarted on Twitter. I went on a crazy KBO run about 3 summers ago and kind of just took off from there. Also been on Dub Club for coming up on 3 years now.
Wow. So how about that? Let's get some claps in the chat for that.
I know it's been a journey. It's been a great journey. But yeah, I do it all, the NFL, NBA, mainly college sports. That's what I really like. College and overseas. Those are my two favorite.
One of the very few cappers covering Chinese basketball. So if you're listening and looking at catching foreign markets.
Is Jimmer still killing it? Or is
I
he
wish,
out?
man. I wish. No, he hasn't been in the league for a while.
Oh, that's how much I know.
They got some studs over there, though, man. They got some studs, especially this past year. They're allowed to play 2 American players on the court at the same time, so you get to see a lot more, talent and budgets rising. But I know before you could only play 1 foreign player on the court, so it'd just be like 1 crazy athletic dude and then 4 Chinese players all around them.
I didn't know they had a restriction. That's crazy.
Yeah. They want to get the native players, some minutes and stuff, but
understandable, but sad nonetheless. Do you watch the games on TV or streaming?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Are you like watching? It's just like a dude in the stands in Shenzhen, or how does this work?
No, usually FanDuel or DraftKings will they'll just live stream it, and then sometimes you could find like a little sketchy website online, like a Streamy sometimes, but for the most part they'll live stream them on the sports books, which is really convenient because then you get to actually watch. It's the eye test is a lot different than just looking at numbers and research and history. Like, you really got to watch the games to get the angle.
Who's your favorite Chinese basketball team to bet on?
Oh, the cash cow, the Guangzhou Lions. They're ridiculous. They're insane.
Duh.
Yeah, why wouldn't you know this, Lewis? They're ridiculous. I just bet on them this morning. They unfortunately let me down, though. I got hooked on the spread by 1, but they're a crazy team. They're like the Thunder of the CBA.
Dynasty loading.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, let's talk to the third member of our dais today. And by the way, guys, you should go retweet. We should now have a tweet on our profile that kind of shows us streaming. So Patrick and Nick, now that you're not on the spot, go share with your Dub Club and quote tweet, and then I'll do the same in our world. But we've got a guy who's been on Dub Club for 3 years in Nick, 1 year in Patrick, and about 3 weeks with Jordan and the Darth Vader picks dynasty. Off to a great start and really focus on college hoops thus far, which is why I'm super pumped you're joining for this particular program. Introduce yourself to listeners who maybe are not familiar with you. I know you're bigger in the TikTok world probably than any other channel, and we can't go live to TikTok. So tell us a little bit about your story, your style, and take it away.
Yeah, no, my name's Jordan Michael. I go by Darth Vader Picks on social media. I mean, I played professional baseball for the Chicago White Sox for 5 years, and right at the end of that, I was kind of on the fence of what it was I wanted to do. I mean, I had a pretty solid following on TikTok already from just making goofy videos in college, and I decided to start posting my sports picks on there, and I mean, it blew up. I was hitting. I think I went on six or seven in a row play of the day winners, and the following came, and I ran with it. And I mean, yeah, like you said, it was a pretty quick blow up, and I've only been on Dub Club for a month, but we've already got about 230, 240 subscribers, and everyone's making money. But for the most part, yeah, I just primarily bet straight picks. I like to take spreads and totals, and that's really my specialty for all major sports, like NFL, college basketball, college football, baseball, you name it, hockey. Trying to think of all the other major sports, but yeah, pretty much all major sports, straight picks. And I mean, we usually will throw out one parlay a day where it's just like a 2-leg, maybe a 3-leg, but nothing crazy. We want people to be winning consistently daily. And yeah, that's pretty much my game plan. And as of right now, like in the past 3 weeks to roughly a month, our straight bet record is 65-52. So we're up about 20 units this month, roughly. because there will be different unit sizes per play. And yeah, I mean, the parlay record is 8-12, so we're winning that 40% of the time as well, which is crazy for a parlay. And yeah, we're cooking.
This is a great crew. You all have a little bit of a different style, but you're all super sharp. So I love this squad we assembled. We're going to have a ton of fun and hopefully hand out some winners today. Let's start to get into it. Jordan, you kind of beat me to the punch. I was about to hype up these esteemed guests. I want to share some snazzy performance metrics from all three of you studs, and then we'll actually get into the slate. Jordan mentioned it. Since launching on Dub Club, hitting against the spread at a 56% clip, which is outstanding, and about 120 bet sample size, which is not nothing. Hitting parlays at a 40% clip with the odds that I'm seeing on yours. That's an excellent way to kind of stack some bankroll. P down. You're famous on Pickett. You got the Pickett t-shirt on. I see why. Plus 43 units and a 7.1% ROI for NCAA basketball bets this year. That'll pay the bills.
It's been nice. Yes.
And then 11 bets when you're not dominating the Chinese basketball or KBO markets, stacking 25 units of profit, over 700 bet sample size this college hoop season. So a lot of activity. And
a ton of volume this year
coming out of the college basketball markets. So we got some trained killers ready to rock and roll and attack this March Madness slate. Before we get into the games themselves, though, I have a question for all three of you. Why do I always get my ass kicked betting on March Madness? I feel like I hand back half my profit every
You're a
single
square,
month.
Lewis, because you're a square.
That's true, but why? I think I'm not the only one.
I mean, it's tough.
How different is betting the tournament versus the regular season in college hoops?
I think the biggest thing is people love the favorites. They like names they're familiar with, and they like overs. And unfortunately, dogs and unders typically cash in the NCAA tournament. So it's just really taking a step of courage on maybe not taking it over, maybe not taking Kansas, who's the greatest team ever, but maybe taking teams that are unfamiliar and maybe taking a couple points, do a plus 11.5 on a 12 seed, something like that. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. You gotta remember the WBF. You know what that is, Lewis?
No, educate me, young man.
The white boy factor. you gotta know about that in March, man.
That's crucial in March.
Every team has one.
Based on this crew, I don't underestimate that.
Yeah. No, I'm very familiar with Ali Farouk-Namesh, that Northern Iowa guard that killed KU a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but he's a white boy.
We all know Doug Eater. We all know him, you know.
Jordan, what about you? Any thoughts on like profiting in March? I know I'm not the only one who finds the tournament a really tough time of year to actually stack units.
Yeah, I mean, a little like thing that I like to do is, you know, if I find a team where I like them on the points in March, I'll sprinkle the money line as well, because like they said, it's March Madness. You got to expect some upsets here and there. I do have one team in mind as of right now who I think is gonna, you know, make a pretty good run as a dog in the first round, and I'm probably gonna have them on the money line. They're not a crazy upset, but I mean they will still be an upset, and that team's UCF. I think that team is gonna make some noise in this tournament. I don't think they're gonna, you know, win it all. I don't think they're gonna, you know, go to the Elite Eight or nothing crazy, but I think they upset UCLA in the first round, and they make some noise going forward. But I'm probably going to be taking them on the money line. I'm definitely going to be having the 5.5 points there. But yeah, I got some tight games in here that I'd like to share as well, but we can get to that later. But yeah, I would just say if you find a team that you like on the points, sprinkle like, you know, 0.1 units, 0.2 units on the money line, you know, have some fun with it. And that's really my 2 cents.
Jordan, you're speaking my language, brother. Anyone else? Well, yeah, let's start. I love that segment. You're leading me to water today, Jordan. This is excellent. Spiciest take for the tournament before we go into the actual games. like your most contrarian bet, whether it's a dog who you think is going to make a run or a high C that you think is going to fall early. I'm putting you guys on the spot. Jordan was already ready. Patrick, let's start with you if you got something for us. And it can't be Kansas winning it all.
That was my – no, I'm just kidding. I think this 12 seed has already gotten a lot of buzz. They faced a team that's missing their best player. But I like Akron. They had phenomenal odds at DraftKings to make the Sweet 16. I think it was like plus 200, where FanDuel was plus 1,100. I think they match up well with Texas Tech. And then they play the same pace and kind of crazy style that Bama plays as a potential second-round matchup. So I do like Akron to make a little run. I think they're kind of the favorite Cinderella, so it's kind of going with the public there. But I like Akron to make some noise.
The Zips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to bet March, which is why it's so fun, but also can get dangerous. Like, you can get crazy with those futures markets.
Without a doubt. And it's always fun. Sunday night is you see Caesars, FanDuel, DraftKings launch their future odds, and you can see just huge gaps. And it's just there was a big gap for Gonzaga making a Sweet 16. There was a big gap for Arkansas. So there's a lot of value that Sunday night. I love attacking every year.
Amazing. Nick, give us your spiciest take for the tournament this March.
Honestly, underdog-wise, I think it's got to be more of a chalky first round. To add what was your name again? Fader, Darth?
Jordan.
Jordan.
He goes by Fader.
Fader, my bad. To add on the way he said, USF is really the only 11 seed and higher that like actually intrigues me and that I might get some action down on. But other than that, like I'm not really bought into any underdog. Like I know there's a lot of noise on Northern Iowa against St. John's. I don't really see that. And then another trendy dog I seen was High Point versus Wisconsin, and I'm not really getting into either of those. I think St. John's and Wisconsin both roll comfortably. I think they might get a backdoor cover in, but I think they both win the game. Favorite wise, I don't really have too spicy of a take right now. I think BYU goes on a little run. If you want to count that, I think AJ locks in. I think he gets a few games under his belt. To kind of fast forward, I think they roll Texas Thursday night. I think they just dog walk Texas by 10 plus, but we'll talk more about that soon.
Epic. Let's get straight into it. The spicy takes have been discharged. It's time to get into the matchups themselves. Starting 11:15 Central on Thursday. Isn't that the best tip-off time and the best time of year? Really interesting. I feel like the first game of the tournament is always interesting. I don't know if they do this on purpose or not. An 8-9 matchup in the great state of South Carolina. The Horned Frogs of TCU against the Buckeyes of the Ohio State University. I'm seeing Ohio State as a 2.5-point favorite, paying minus 150 on the money line. Total sitting at $148.5 at some places. I'm seeing it at ESPN.com at 146.5. So there's some variance there.
Wait, we gotta skip Miami, Ohio, SMU.
Oh, good call. Let's talk play-in game.
We can't skip that. We can't.
Miami, Ohio, one of the more, I don't even think it was controversial. I think by the time they got in the tourney, everyone was like, yeah, they have to make it. But fresh off of a undefeated regular season and an early exit from the Mid-America Conference tournament, they are now a 7.5-point dog, playing big-time plus money on the money line. Are they going to make the field of 64, Nick?
Oh, no.
Are they going to cover the spread?
That, we all know the saying, good teams win, great teams cover. I'll be honest, I was getting torched by Miami, Ohio to start the season. When they were like 15-0, I just didn't think they were that good of a team. Everything I looked at wasn't agreeing with their record. So I would fade them for like 3 or 4 games in a row, and I'd get cooked. Like these dudes would just come out the game shooting 55% from three, and you look away, and next thing you know, you're down 15 going into half. So then I kind of got on the train to end the season. Like, I'm like, fuck all the data. Like, I'm just gonna ride this Red Hawks team, and I'm glad I did because they finished the season undefeated, and then they ran into they were first round exit, I think, in the MAC tourney, which was disappointing, but it was kind of expected that they wouldn't win. I think they were plus 220 to win the MAC conference.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, their metrics
after
just
going
stink,
undefeated.
and everyone's saying their strength of schedule, strength of record is crap. So I'm glad they're at least in the play-in round. And SMU's another team, like they kind of have been limping into March. I think they lost either 4 in a row or 3 out of 4 to end the year. So 2 teams that like had really good seasons but didn't end with a ton of mo. But I think Miami catching a lot of points is a function of their all year people were not really buying the underlying strength of the roster. So I'm not surprised you don't think they're moving on. Jordan, Patrick, either of you guys have action in this one, or are you waiting to unload the clip until Thursday? Jordan's nodding his head. Educate us, young man.
No, yeah, I definitely will have action on it, and I'm definitely going to be taking SMU minus 7.5. That's a for sure play. They roll.
Love it.
I'm joining the bandwagon. I just believe SMU is the better team. I like to reference Ken Palm, and all the metrics show SMU being a better squad. So I'm going with A11 and Darth Vader on this one.
We'll see if the Red Hawks have one more surprise. Say that one more time for us, Nick.
Get to know Boopy Miller.
What a name.
Boopy.
That kid's a stud, man. That's just Boopy the athleticism, the pure athleticism top to bottom is just, I think it's going to outweigh Miami in everything they do. Like, I just don't think they'll be able to handle it.
Reminds me of your game, Nick.
Yeah, you know me, super bouncy.
The big thing with Miami of Ohio, too, I mean, their strength of schedule is awful. They have the worst strength of schedule non-conference. They just haven't really been tested outside the MAC. So it's just this SMU team is going to be the best team they've played all year. So, yeah, I'm all aboard this.
It's kind of a home game for Miami. Does that matter at all, or not really? Just too much talent on the other side of the hardwood.
Not for this game. It won't matter for this game.
I love that they do the first 4 in Dayton every year. Fun fact: my flight got canceled, diverted to Dayton, Ohio on Sunday night. I got really familiar with Dayton, Ohio this weekend. The rental car system is not great there, I have to say. Hopefully it performs better for all the visiting fans. Okay, after the fall start, we're going to Thursday games. TCU, Horned Frogs, Buckeyes. I'm getting like a little bit of buzz around this TCU squad. Maybe it's just my little echo chamber, but they're dogs. 2 good teams from 2 good conferences. Love this 8-9 matchup. What do we like? Nick, I hear you nodding your head verbally. Get us started with a little take.
I don't know if I'm going to take I like TCU. I don't know if I'm going to take their money line or take the spread. I'll most likely just take the spread. Ohio State, they do have, the size advantage over TCU. They're kind of smaller. I think they have 3 starters like 6'7", 6'8", but that's about it. Ohio State has a 7-foot big man, and obviously Bruce Thornton. But I think David Punch, I think he's got to put the team on his back. I think it's got to be a close game. I think it's got to come down to the wire. First game of the the real round of 32. So I think it's got to start off with a real close one.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, taking the points here is probably the wise move. They're both pretty good squads. I think TCU covers, but I'm not putting action on it. I just think it's going to be a tight game. But if I had to take a lean, I'd do Horned Frogs against spread.
Bankroll management is critical this time of year. It's easy to blow up your bankroll betting on every single matchup 4 different ways plus futures. So good reminder. We don't have to fire on every single game in the round of 64. Jordan, what do you think? You kind of in line with leaning TCU, grabbing the points?
Yeah, I mean, I would say these guys are definitely sharp and they know what they're talking about because I was leaning TCU as well. I got them in my bracket. I do think that they win. I think they play I will say if they can play at a faster pace, then they're going to have a better chance. But if they play slow basketball and try to, run the play and slow things down, that gives Ohio State definitely an advantage because they are the bigger team. But if TCU, he grabs boards and pushes the ball, I feel like they have a really good chance. They just have to stay fast paced.
Such an interesting time of year in college hoops. I feel like the NBA gets a lot of flack because everyone kind of plays the same way. People are playing for threes and dunks. Mm-hmm. And the college game, that's not true. Like, there's a lot of different styles. There's the teams that love to run and play the fast break. There's teams that love to eat the whole possession clock, play half-court offense. Different conferences have different, officiating styles even, where the Big Ten, lets the kids play a little bit more. So that's why I think March is so fun, because you see these competing styles and how it translates to the floor. So let's stay in the Big Ten. Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, coming off probably their best season that I can remember. The Fighting Fred Hoibergs. They are playing in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, against the Troy Trojans. They are 13.5-point favorites. Obviously, a ton of juice on the money line. Troy plus 615 is what I'm seeing on Underdog here in the fine state of California. This is not a spot that people are kind of jumping on as an upset spot, but Nebraska hasn't played a ton in March, so you never know how those sorts of newly highly seeded teams will perform.
Right.
Anyone have a hot take for this one, or just a side or total they like?
I got no hot takes there. I would take Nebraska though.
Love it.
Yeah.
I would take Nebraska on spread as well there.
Yeah. Only thing I did with this one is that Bet365 has that up 10 early cash out promo. I sprinkled a little bit on Troy. The line has been moving towards Troy a little bit, but it was very small wager. Just maybe Troy gets up by 10. I'll get something out of it, but I think Nebraska rolls. Just small sprinkle on Troy money line just to see if they get up 10.
Cool. Let's keep moving. We got plenty of games to work through. South Florida, Louisville. This is a 11-6 matchup. Louisville, 6.5-point favorite some places, 5.5 others. Totals in the low 160s. A lot of points for a college game. What do we think? I don't know. Were you guys mentioning South Florida or Central Florida as kind of your dog alert watch?
I was mentioning Central Florida.
Cool.
And then A11, 11 bets came through and said USF. I think he misread me because I said I'm taking UCF plus the 5.5 and on the money line versus UCLA, but I actually don't like South Florida.
Cool.
I was actually disagreeing with that one. I actually do like Louisville to roll here as well.
Finally, we got some disagreement. 11. Are you on the Bulls, or were you also on the
No,
Knights?
I'm on the Bulls.
We like USF. Educate us on why. We got our first disagreement of the stream. Finally, too much consensus is a bad thing.
I think this line is wrong. I think it should be like a 2.5 favorite. In all the metrics on Kempom, Bartovic, it's all really even. And I've watched a lot of Louisville this year, and they live or die by the 3. And that's not a good thing to do in March. I think Michael Brown is a shot chucker. I don't think he's that good of a player. He's obviously extremely talented, but he can easily go 1 for 10. And then you got McNeely, who he goes ghost some games. Like, I've seen a lot of big games recently. Well, he'll have 0 points and there's 5 minutes left in the game. Then you got Ryan Conway. I really respect him a lot. I think he's probably the one player I'm really worried about, but I think it's way too even of a matchup to be getting 5.5, 6.5 points on. So I'm definitely taking USF and sprinkling the money line.
Cool. Jordan, what did you see either in the data or the tape where you feel like Louisville's the right side to be on? Because you guys have different styles. I think, Nick, you seem to be more of like a tape guy and a metrics guy, whereas Jordan, I've seen you to be more like a trading against the volume guy, chasing steam sort of deal. So what are you seeing that makes you want to pile into Louisville?
No, yeah, I I do follow, all the public bets, and I have a source for that I feel like nobody else really does have. But USF is probably one of the most popular underdogs on the first round of March Madness, and that's what draws the most caution for me, is because people see the USF and they see like the track record, and they see like they're a good team, they score a lot of points. And that's exactly where I like to fade, and that's why my name is Darth Vader, because I see a lot of public on it, and I like to go the exact opposite way. I also read lines, and whenever I see a juicy line, I like to jump. So just some numbers I like to stay away from are minus 105s or minus 108s, minus 102s. I like to, wait and, see if a line will shift to like a minus 110, 112, 115, something like that, where the books are juicing it. But you'll see a lot of movement from now until game time, and those are the types of things that I like to analyze and make my best judgment based off of. But definitely going with where public money is as well. I'm more of a read the line, read the numbers, and make the best play from there, as opposed to watching tape, because Vegas has all the information. Like I feel like they never post a false line. I mean that's why. I mean, they have literally AI bots and years on top of years of data before they even post a line. It's pretty hard for them to make a mistake. Sure, some of the games aren't close, but I mean, for the most part, they're pretty spot on, and I like the favorite in that spot. I mean, I just first round of March it's really going to be like difficult. What I would say is, like, if you find a favorite that you think covers the spread, take them on the spread, but also don't like sprinkle the money line the opposite way as well, because there's good value there. Like, the way Vegas makes money in March, I feel like, is with those big upsets, because they take all the money from those money line parlays. So you might get burnt on the spread, but if you are feeling like you're going to get burnt on the spread, take the money line the opposite way. It's really weird, but you'll get great value on that, and that's like something I like to look at as well.
Love it. Patrick, can you break the tie for us in this Louisville USF battle?
I mean,
we got the tape guy and the fade the public guy, on opposite ends here. Break the tie.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me, just looking at the lines this morning, I mean, it jumped from minus 230 Louisville to minus 200 early in the week, so a lot of money came in on USF being a very popular favorite, but then just within the last hour, it dropped back down to 240 for Louisville. So personally, I think it's going to be a fun game. It's one of the two faster paced, more fun teams to watch. You can tell with the totals in the 160s. So I'm going to plead the fifth, and I like the over.
That's amazing. The tie goes to, I hope both teams have fun. And let's
I'll do that.
Amazing. Let's go to the 5-12 matchup over there in the Western region in Portland, Oregon. You can't get much further west than that. High Point against Wisconsin. High Point's been mentioned as a kind of trendy dog in this one. I'm seeing on Underdog that pays plus 355. They're 9.5-point dogs. Wisconsin had a very nice season, 24-10. High Point, obviously not a frequent flyer in March, so congrats to them for making the tournament. Patrick, you got anything for us after that non-tiebreaker non-answer last matchup?
The big thing here is they're both really good teams on scoring the ball. Wisconsin's like number 11, Ken Palm on offense. High Point, fourth in the nation in scoring at 90 points per game, and also like to push the ball. Wisconsin's going to get pushed the tempo-wise. Again, I'm on the over on this one. I grabbed it at like 163 when it opened. It looks like it's back at 163, but I like points here. I also threw a little sprinkle again on the bet 365, get up 10, just because I think a lot of points and getting up 10 can happen easily. I think Wisconsin wins ultimately, but I like points, and maybe High Point gets up by 10 early.
For a guy that likes betting the under, you're on the over an awful lot here early on Thursday morning.
I know. I'm falling victim to the points and the favorites, but I don't know. I like the points here, just the tempo and the efficiency on offense by both teams. I kind of like them here.
2 games in a row where we see the total sitting in the 160s. That is like pretty
Crazy.
impressive.
Yeah.
High numbers for college game.
Mhm.
Jordan or Nick, anything you like in this matchup, value to be had?
I think High Point is another dog. I mean, that's getting a lot of action. I mean, honestly, I see a lot of favorites covering in the first round just because, like, I feel like there's a lot of newbie bettors or some people that, don't like really to gamble, but March Madness is kind of like a different time of year where it's like it's okay to. It's kind of like football playoffs or it's like, MLB playoffs. People don't care about every single Major League Baseball regular season game, but when they get to the playoffs, it's like, okay, I'll put money down on it. Why not? Like people's parents are doing it, people's grandparents are doing it. And those people are like they're taking points in March Madness because they expect madness, but I don't see madness happening in this game as well. I'm taking the favorite on the spread.
Love it. Nick, tell me you're on the other side. I want some spicy debate here.
Unfortunately, I'm not. I like Jordan was saying, I think High Point is a really trendy dog, and I don't really see why. Wisconsin, they have the size, the experience. They're just overall a better team by a good margin. High Point did end their season like 22-1 or something ridiculous. Yeah, like P Down was saying, they can score the ball at a crazy rate. But so can Wisconsin. I'm not gonna bet this game. I have no confident take on either side. I do know Wisconsin will win.
High Point is like the fancy school, right? They teach you how to cut steak and like go to sushi restaurants correctly.
Yeah, I visited there and it was like Disneyland. It was like the
like
best
rich kid
campus.
school.
Yes, it very much is. I did not end up going there, but it was on the list.
So I feel like that you're spend your class time learning how to do a steak dinner and drink whiskey. That's not built for March. That's not good.
No dog in them.
But
no
it
dog in
sounds
them.
fun.
Yeah, I think with that being said, if they're still accepting applications for grad school stuff, sounds interesting. Let's go to the 16-1 matchup in the East region, the number 1 seed in the tournament from the great state of North Carolina, the Duke Blue Devils. Everybody loves Duke. Siena getting 28.5 points. That works. Is it even worth talking about this game?
No.
I called Duke. I called Duke minus 27.5.
How about that, CLV? How are you?
I got some better ones coming. I got some great CLV. I think it was Monday night. Yeah, Monday night when the seeding was announced, they got some great CLV on some bets. But I think Duke rolls this. They might win by 40.
Love it. Jordan, anything from you? P Down said no. Keep rolling.
Yeah, I like Jerry McNamara as the coach for Siena, and that's about all I got there.
On to the next.
Keep moving. 12-5. People love the 12-5 matchups for upset city. Vanderbilt had a really nice run in the SEC tournament. I feel like sometimes when you have teams have good runs in the conference tourney, they come out a little flat in the NCAA tournament, but they're an 11.5 point favorite against McNeese State. I may be pronouncing that correctly. I think they have the equipment manager who's got some
Yeah.
And they made a run. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. Won their first round matchup.
Last year.
That dude was getting a ton of pub. He's got great swag. Are they going to win their first round matchup again this year? Nick, let's start with you.
I'm not confident enough to say they win. But I do. If I were to bet the side, I definitely take McNeese. I watched them. I think it was Saturday or Friday. That triple overtime conference game where they ended up pulling it out. Like that team has the dog in them. They lost a good amount of players last year. And they're loaded. They're a great team. Vanderbilt, obviously, they're like a top 10 offense, and They just knocked off Florida. They hung in there with Arkansas. Like, they're probably in the best form they've been in all season, other than when they started the season super hot. But I think McNeese 12, what is it, 12.5 right now?
I'm seeing it at 11.5.
11.5,
Okay. Yeah, if I were to bet it, I'd like to get it at 12.5. That's the only if I don't know if I'm gonna bet it yet.
So I did going on this one. I love McNeese here. The big thing with me is their non-conference strength of schedule is 20. They played teams like Michigan, Santa Clara that are in the tournament already. They played decent teams in Murray State and George Washington non-conference. They dominated the Southland Conference. The other thing I like about them too is they take care of the ball and they steal the ball.
Yep.
They're number 1 on KenPom for defensive turnover rate and steal percentage. And then on the other side, they don't give up the ball. They're number 2 in turnover percentage. So the turnover differential, you always hear about that in NFL, but it's huge here where they can take care of the ball. If they, I don't know, I see them staying in this game and keeping it tight, being able to take care of the ball. So I like plus 11.5. Although Vandy finished so strong in the SEC in that tournament. But like you're saying, they can fall flat. But I'm on the Cowboys on this one, plus 11.5.
Jordan, you look very deep in thought over there in the bottom right of my screen. You're giving me a good power stance, stroking the beard. Come give us some fire takes right now.
See, I got a really hot take, man.
Come on now. Let it fly.
Dude, see, this one goes against my sauce, so this might be a really bad take because I can't look that far into the future on where money's going to be placed because obviously I only got first round information. But I got Vandy in my Final Four.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got Vandy going far. I really think I've got 2 relatively hot takes. I got Vandy in my Final Four and I got Alabama in my Final Four. And I know those are 2 controversial picks because they're very hit or miss teams. But I mean, Alabama was ranked earlier this year, and I mean, yeah, sure they slipped, but they've showed firepower, and I think that they can turn up. But same goes for Vanderbilt, man. They got a really good offense, and if they catch fire and the team is vibing together and they're meshing well, I think sky's the limit in this tournament for them. I'm not saying that they're going to cover every single spread every step of the way. I think McNeese can very easily cover those points, but I think Vandy comes out on top on in terms of winning the game.
So can I ask you, Jordan? Because I think I think they'll end up winning this game and then playing Nebraska next game and then eventually playing Florida in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So you're thinking they beat Florida again in the Sweet
twice,
16.
double bet.
Think so?
Yeah, and that's exactly that makes the perfect sense to me. Because the public is like, no way they beat Florida twice,
right?
And if they get to that spot, then I'm definitely going to be on Vanderbilt because it's just everyone's going to be thinking Florida. No way Florida slips again, and that's exactly the perfect time to fade. Oh, it's so beautiful.
That is the biggest myth.
I got another question too. Go ahead, Peter.
No, that's the biggest myth is you can't beat a team 3 times, 4 times in a row. I think historically it's shown there's a reason why they beat them 3 or 4 times in a row because they're the better team. I mean, that's what I've seen. Or go ahead, A11.
I'm quite the opposite of Alabama. I really hate betting on that team just because of how hot and cold they can be. But I was gonna ask you, do you think any of your feelings have changed about them without them possibly being without Aiden Holloway?
Dude, I really don't care who's on the floor. I really don't care who's on the floor, man. I'm following numbers. That's it. Sure, that might hurt if he's a good player. That might hurt. But there's trends and there's patterns, and that's what I like to follow. I mean, I don't necessarily I don't know every single player. I don't even know majority of the players. You guys might be sharper on that in that sense, but I'm a numbers breakdown, and I've been looking at numbers, and I've been looking at patterns, and I've been looking at history. That's pretty much what I look at, and I go based off what I see. But yeah, I mean, I think that Alabama is a slept-on team, honestly, and I I mean, they were ranked earlier this year, so they're not that slept on. But I mean, people don't see that number next to their name, next to their team name anymore. So they kind of give up on them. But you know, they still got a chance, man.
They do have a good little region because they'll most likely play Texas Tech next round. And then I think if they do play Texas Tech, they match up really well with them. I think they'll advance that. And then the real tough test will be Michigan in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, see, that's where my take is getting awfully cold because Michigan does have, you know, a great team. But Michigan has shown signs of being beatable, man, at the end of this year. They get dog walked by Purdue. They hold a tight game with who did
Ohio
they just
State.
play?
Wisconsin, they barely snuck past.
Yeah,
and Ohio State. They only beat them by like 4, I think.
Yeah, like they had a game where they were a 16.5-point favorite. I forget who they played, but they only won by 3. They were up by like 20 in the last 5 minutes and then let the whole lead go. Game ends up getting tied and they hit a buzzer beater. Like
Wisconsin,
yeah, like that's the type of shit that is just like if I'm seeing that going into March Madness, I'm out.
I don't know. For me, that kind of makes me I feel like they're gonna have a chip on their shoulder. And that's dangerous for a 1 seed. You know, they want to go in there and they're gonna stomp anybody they can for the first couple rounds. I really don't trust Elliot Cadeau though as at the guard for Michigan. They're really big dominant. You know, Ade Mora, Marez Johnson, and obviously Yaxel. It's really got to come down to their guards and how they're playing. You know, Namari Burnett, Elliot Cadeau, but I think Michigan's they're gonna make a solid run to the Elite Eight for sure.
Let's keep moving on our Thursday slate. North Dakota State, Michigan State, January, February, Izzo, April. Another March with Michigan State as a nice seed. One thing to highlight about this matchup, very similar color schemes from these two squads. Good luck figuring out which team is which once the games start. Huge spread. Michigan State, 17.5-point favorite. Totals in the low 140s, so not the run and shoot matchup we've talked about earlier. Is this one got anybody on upset watch, or is it even worth talking about this matchup?
I see no upset happening there either.
Yeah, I got nothing as far as plays on this game, but I just think, like you said, Izzo in the March. So I'm good with them taking the first round win.
Yeah, they always make it out of the first round, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Next up, Hawaii, Arkansas. A little bit of a culture clash here between the Rainbow Warriors and the Razorbacks. Hawaii, team that's catching a little bit of buzz. They're coming over from the beautiful island of Oahu. Not too bad to Portland, Oregon, or Arkansas is probably just as long of a flight to Oregon as Oahu is. Arkansas is a 15.5-point favorite. People are not really respecting the champion of the WAC. Why is that number so high? And does anybody like anything in this game?
I don't have anything in this game. I do have Arkansas to the Sweet 16. I like how they could move forward past Hawaii. I have nothing again in this game, but I like them against Wisconsin. I just think Arkansas, their guard play and how fast they play, I think are two things I like about the team. And that's where I'm at with it. Nothing on this game, but I think they go to the Sweet 16.
Cool.
I know everyone was higher on Wisconsin earlier. Anybody think Wisconsin takes Arkansas out?
I think Arkansas advances over Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening too. Arkansas is a good team.
It still has not grokked in my brain that Calipari is the coach there. I'm like, why is
it is nuts?
Yeah,
like, I mean, this is Coach Cal squad. They're legit.
Yeah, it's hard to see him with the Razorbacks when you've seen him with Kentucky for God knows how long.
They made some noise last year. I mean, they're legit.
I feel like they had a worse roster last year, and you know they obviously got Player of the Year candidate Acuff, and then that kid Malik, he's a stud too. He can easily drop 30 on any given night, and then if Brazil's shooting the ball at the way he has been recently, like that team's got to be very hard to beat. I got them kind of similar to Pete. I said I got them making the Sweet 16 also.
Mhm.
I mean, any team with Coach Cal coaching, they have a legit shot to go far in the tourney, as we've seen last year.
Yeah, that potential Arizona Arkansas game.
That's
I
got
think
to feed.
That's a crazy. That's a Sweet 16 game in my opinion.
That's got to feed.
Let's keep moving in the South region. VCU, North Carolina. North Carolina as the 6th seed, only a 2.5-point favorite. So this is a spot where clearly Vegas think the dog has got a real shot. This game is in Greenville, South Carolina, so close to probably both schools. VCU, obviously one of the OG Cinderellas back from the Shaka Smart days. It's a different team nowadays, but they're still got a chance to cause some havoc in March. P-Down, I see you nodding. I'll let you take the first hack. What do you think about this matchup between the Rams and the Tar Heels?
Yeah, this one, I think to Fader and A11 bets earlier, I mean, there's a lot of buzz with VCU, especially with Wilson out for North Carolina. They ended the year so hot. They haven't lost a game since mid-January. The only loss was to St. Louis, who's a good squad as well. So I don't really have a side. I can see VCU winning, but I know North Carolina still has talent outside of Wilson. But I'm staying away. If I had to, I'd take VCU. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think this is a very dangerous one to bet on. I don't know if I'm going to have any units on it, but I mean, obviously, I have to make a pick because I have a bracket, and dude, I think North Carolina wins, but like it's just such a sketchy line. This is the hardest one for me to read. The money is pretty even on both sides. I mean, this is probably one of the hardest picks to make in the bracket, and it really can go either way.
Nick, anything from you on this game?
Oh yeah, I actually have a pretty big wager on this one.
Okay, Beast, educate us.
For North Carolina.
Yep.
I think VCU is a fake sharp spot. I think it's got to be one of those spots where everybody's on this dog, and UNC just finds a way to win. I mean, they played a good amount of games without Wilson towards the end of the year, and they looked great without him. Oh, and a fun fact: I actually played against Seth Trimble in 8th grade in my freshman year for AAU, and he dog walked us. That kid has always been crazy athletic.
That's funny.
But yeah, him, Vassar, like they have a great 2-man game. They're really athletic. They play to win. They're gritty. I'm not a big fan of the coach. I don't really like them that much, but I think they get it done by at least 5-6 points.
Cool. I love the fake sharp punch back from 11 back. Okay, now to the team we were just chatting about. Probably like whistle to whistle, one of the more impressive seasons in the entire NCAA this year, but a little bit of limping down the stretch. The Michigan Wolverines, they are 31.5-point favorites against Howard. Obviously, 16 one spots with very rare exception. There's nothing interesting from a money line perspective. Do you guys, I mean, how do you even think about attacking a 31.5-point spread, or do you just stay away? Are there any markets in which you think there's value to be had in this game between the Bison and the Wolverines?
I would never take a minus 31.5 in my entire life.
Yeah, like, it's just like what anything can happen at that point, right?
Like, I don't even know how you generate a money line odds for that game, to be honest with you.
You got the coach's kid backdooring a 3 to end the game.
Like,
that is the risk. Yep.
That's like a college football thing, right? Where it's like, if it's over, for me, if it's a 3-score spread, I'm like, stay away, because I love walk-ons, so I want them to eat when they're in there. I can't have a conflict of interest when they empty the bench at the end of the game.
Right. I will say I did have a nice size unit play on Howard money line yesterday against UMBC, and UMBC is a hot team. They were a hot team, and they did take it, and that was nice to have. But I mean, UMBC and Michigan are fucking completely opposite sides of the spectrum, so you can't even compare the two games.
Right.
But I would never take the minus 31.5. I'm taking plus 31.5, if anything at all. But I probably won't have anything at all. Most likely won't have anything at all. But yeah, that's a stay away from me.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. They just kind of limped in as far as Michigan. I mean, you asked me in December, they beat teams like Rutgers, Gonzaga, Auburn, all by 30 plus, but that was when they were in peak form and running on all cylinders. Right now, it doesn't seem like they are. So I'm staying away, but Michigan will win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that doesn't take a sharp to tell you that one.
Yeah, I agree. That's fair.
No, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you though. Yeah, Michigan wins. I mean, it's not even close.
What will be interesting is I bet we'll get to it soon, but the Georgia St. Louis, both offensive teams that can get points easy and quick. If they get hot against Michigan, either team, it could be a. I'm interested to see what that spread's going to be versus either Georgia or St. Louis with Michigan, because that'll be.
I want St. Louis against them. I want them so bad. I think
That'll
they
be
can
fun.
I think they can actually upset Michigan the way they shoot the ball.
No worries about baby Jokic, the lack of athleticism versus Michigan's bigs.
Oh no. I think St. Louis can just, if they can shoot the ball at like a 40-45% range, I think they have a great chance of actually winning that game. I'm trying to remember that guy's name. Oh my God. It's like a Middle Eastern name. I think he's like one of the best shooters in the country on St. Louis. I think he comes off the bench. I gotta look it up. Hold on.
I only know Avila, or however you say his name. Just baby Jokic. That's all I know.
Ishan Sharma.
Sharma.
Sharma. That kid can shoot the ball. I remember watching him in the beginning of the year. He had like 6 threes in a row, and then I kind of kept an eye on him for the rest of the year, and he can shoot the hell out of the ball. But
I mean, it's crazy. Looking at it now, they have 4 guys shooting better than 40% from 3. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, wow. They can shoot the ball. I feel like it's a dangerous matchup for Michigan, because we've seen what Wisconsin just did against them. Like, all it takes is 3 or 4 threes in a row, and they can be down 9 early, so.
Right.
I really the tough test is getting past Georgia first, because Georgia plays really similar to them. So,
yep.
We are in another 11-6 spot with a super tight spread here in the West region. Texas making the tourney with 14 losses. You don't see that every year. They got in as an 11 seed. The BYU Cougars are the 6th seed with 11 losses. BYU is only a 1.5 favorite, so
I love it,
which is ridiculous. I'll go first. I think this has got to be my free play of the stream. This is my biggest bet in the entire first round. I got 3 units on BYU money line. There's just no. I mean, I had Texas last night. I had Texas and Howard last night, and I don't know how Texas won that game, to be honest. Swain was non-existent. And I think he's going to get locked down by Mboop on BYU. I think he'll be taken out the picture. Their guard play is not impressive to me. They have a solid big, but I think they're got to be, BYU is got to be too much to handle for Texas. I think AJ's got to drop 30. I think Robert Wright will have a solid game. There's just no way I see BYU getting dropped in the first round. I'm super confident in BYU, and I know a lot of people would disagree and probably take Texas on the spread, but I'm going with my gut, and I nuke BYU.
Yeah, I mean, I like that too. When they lost Saunders, BYU early in the year, I thought they were kind of toast, but when you have someone like AJ that can literally just give him the ball and he'll take over on offense. I mean, they beat Texas Tech by 6. They've won some good games, and they were competitive against Houston in the Big 12. So they've kind of recovered from that Sanders loss. So, and then AJ's nuts. So I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, that's the thing in March. Like, you're gonna need a guy that you can give whenever you need a bucket. You need to just give him the ball, and BYU has that. And they also have Robert Wright, who can also get a bucket. And that Bakeda, he's a beast. He could be the X factor in this game. Same with Mboop, like against Texas Tech, he completely took Christian Anderson out that game in the second half. Like, they have a lockdown defender, they have 2 bucket getters. They have a solid big. I don't see how Texas can win this game.
Jordan, you got the beard.
He's going to. I know he's going
to
Texas.
unleash something
He's a
powerful.
fader, the
I
Darth
already know
Vader.
he's going Texas.
Let's hear
I
what
know
the
it.
Darth man has to say.
See, like my eyes tell me sell all stock in BYU, man. My eyes tell me. My eyes tell me. But my brain is telling me that's exactly why BYU is a good play. But like I just man, I've lost so many units on BYU this year, man.
They have been volatile.
They're
They've been
so
all over the place.
untrustworthy.
Like, bro,
trust
they
right now.
have crushed me time and time again. I've taken them in so many spots thinking it was such a sharp play, and I am let down every single time. So I can't have my money on BYU anymore. I don't know if I'm the
They're banned.
kryptonite. I don't know if I'm the kryptonite, but I just cannot. I cannot. I do have Texas winning. I'm not confident in it because you've come with a lot of firepower and a lot of confidence. So that hurts my ego on that pick. But I
I respect it. I respect it a lot.
I can't take BYU again, man. I can't get triple burnt. I just it hurts so bad. Like I had BYU plus 1.5 versus Arizona earlier this year.
Oh, that was brutal.
They were down. Brutal. They were down 20 points. Fight all the way back in the last 5 minutes. They were losing by 1 point. They had the last shot. They put up a dog shit ass hook shot underneath the rim, and they foul with fucking 1 second left. Are you kidding me? That's got to be like craziest comebacks, but worst beats because like, dude, you have the last shot. Either win the game or lose the game. Why are we fouling there? Yeah. Oh, they've hurt me so many times. So many times, man. Oh.
It's fair. All sides brought good points to the table. We're in I hope both teams have fun situation. Yet again.
I don't know if we're in that situation because we got A11 Bets over here who say he's got a 3-year bomb.
He's got a nuke. He's got a nuke on the Cougars.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm
Mormon on Thursday. I'm Mormon Thursday night.
What do you got about UCF versus BYU earlier this year? They just got 30. They 30-pieced them in the first half.
They have they're man, and especially
BYU is so sketch, man.
They are super
UCF
sketchy.
Treated them like a high school team.
And that's exactly why I'm gonna ride with them. I don't know. I feel like in March, like AJ, he's obviously a top 3 pick. Like he knows this is he's not got to get another college game if he loses this. Like he's going to lay it all out on the floor, and that's dangerous against the top 3 pick. Like I think if he has to, he'll drop 40 and they win the game. If he has to. Like I'm ride or dying with them.
I just think that's the scary part of like riding with AJ. That's just the scary part is because he's only one guy, man. He could still be a high draft pick with a team playing like shit, but like he is a good player. He reminds me a lot of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's really good at getting to the rim. He's really good at drawing fouls. He gets a lot of buckets that way. But like, bro, he's one guy, man. Like they double team him, and then what do they got?
You got Rob. I mean,
they got Wright.
Rob Wright, Kennard Davis. Like they're all solid, but Texas doesn't. They don't got it either, in my opinion. Like if
Texas is sketch.
They're both sketch.
I think in my opinion,
it's a sketch off.
This is the best game of the day.
Yeah, the 6-11 matchups seem to be the most interesting matchups on Thursday. We got a good 7-10 one as well. In Oklahoma City, Texas A&M 3.5-point dog against St. Mary's. This is a fun SEC mid-major matchup where the mid-major is the favorite. See a lot of heads nodding over here. Patrick, get us started. What have you cooked up?
I like St. Mary's. I went on them early. The line's been moving with them. I just think they're a more reliable, consistent squad where A&M's been kind of sporadic. So I'm just going with St. Mary's. It's kind of a chalky play as a 7 team and going with the line movement, but I'm on them.
Jordan, looks like you agree. What else you got for us? Nick, are we going consensus? Give me some fire. Yeah.
I respectfully have to disagree on this one. I think I think A&M, they're gotta press the hell out of St. Mary's. They're going to make them play way faster than they'd like to. I think and due to that, I think they're gonna take that 7-3 big out of the game. I just think the athleticism, the pace has got to be too much for St. Mary's to handle. And you can argue with that because they've beaten Gonzaga, who fits that, that stereotype. But I got a friend I grew up with who plays on A&M, Marcus Hill. Shout out Marcus Hill.
You got guys everywhere, dude. This is
man,
like the
wow.
Nick AAU tournament.
Yeah, shout out Marcus Hill. He's a dog, but I think I caught him at 3.5. I'm gonna also tease their spread with another underdog spread, like plus 10.5 with them, and another plus 10.5 with another dog I like. But I think A&M, they're gotta speed this game up, and they're gotta keep it close, and they have a good shot at winning outright.
Are you sprinkling the money line, or are you just gonna take the points and
No. Since I'm gonna tease, since I'm already teasing the spread, if I'm gonna take a short spread, I'm just gonna take the money line most of the time. But for this one, I'm gonna tease the spread and then play the real spread as well.
Love it. Okay, I love when we disagree on the program. Excellent work, team. We have got a not tight spread in the 3-14 matchup coming out of the Ivy League, led by Fran McCaffrey, the Quakers from UPenn. I feel like the Ivy League champ has made a lot of noise in the tournament over the past few years, but they are 24.5-point dogs against a very good Fighting Illini team that hasn't figured out how to really break through in March under Brad Underwood. I've been quiet with my takes all day because I really don't know ball when it comes to college
then.
hoops.
How about you start this one?
I'm going to start with this one. I don't buy U of I. How about that rhyme for you? This is a huge spread. I don't know if UPenn wins or not, but I think they're definitely covering that number. 24.5 is a
they do fit the WBF.
Yeah. I mean, they're Ivy League.
Of course, the Ivy school.
They're probably going to end up, working at JP Morgan. So this is their shot to make some memories. U of I also does, by the way. Like, I watched them play a couple times. The entire team's just like bros off the plane from Eastern Europe. And that's it. So these are some grown ass men on both sides of this matchup. That's my one take of the day. Is UPenn covering a massive number. Anyone else got a spicy take in this first round matchup between the Ivy League champ and the Fighting Illini?
Gonna let you take that one, the bull by the horns on that one.
Hell
you
yeah.
got it, man.
I think Illinois is just one of the better teams, especially on offense. But I don't know. That's a lot of points. I'm staying away, but I think Illinois. What will be interesting, though, is the next game for Illinois with North Carolina, VCU, and then potentially against Houston in the Elite Eight. Illinois-Houston will be such a good game. That's what I'm looking forward to. If Houston gets past St. Mary's.
If Illinois gets past the Quakers.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think the winner of that, I got both teams facing off against each other, Houston, Illinois. I think the winner of that is I think they will win the tournament. The winner of Illinois and Houston.
There's the take.
Yeah. I think whoever wins that game is going to win it all.
That's fair. I do believe they're both great teams. I mean, Illinois offensively is awesome. Houston defensively is awesome. So,
and I feel like Illinois has ridiculous size. Like, they have some crazy size. They have Boswell. He's a great perimeter defender. So is Stojakovic. They have two great perimeter defenders. You got Wagler, who can give you a crazy unathletic 30 ball. You got 7-footers coming off the bench who can shoot the three. You got Mirkovic, 6'10", handling the ball. Like, that is a recipe for a Final Four, if not championship team. Another take is I don't think Florida will make it past the Final Four if they even get there. Same with Michigan. I don't think Michigan will end up going to the. If Arizona and Michigan meet up, I think Arizona is going to roll. Whoever wins on, I think it's the East region between Illinois and Houston. I think they're going to face Arizona in the finals, and I think Arizona loses in the finals to Illinois or Houston.
Man.
Firing the futures like crazy. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to Jordan's point earlier, I do agree that Vanderbilt has a good chance to beat Florida, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is a spicy region now that we're talking about it. With Vandy, Florida, Illinois, Houston, I think, yeah.
I'm glad none of us mentioned the 2-seed UConn because we all know we all know they're not making any noise this year.
Hell no.
Hard to bet against that coach, though. I mean, the resume is pretty impressive.
He's a psycho.
UConn and BYU, man, for me, those two teams go hand in hand. I'm out on those teams, man. Stay away from UConn. Stay away from BYU.
Now I want to put a future in on the South region winning it all. I think they all have legitimate.
Another fun way to bet.
Yeah. Between Houston, Illinois, well, I guess Florida's kind of a fraud, but I don't know. I kind of like
it's interesting. No one's talking about Florida. Yeah, the one seed is the paper tiger in the region.
I'm not trusting Boogie and Xavier no, there's no way.
You're more of a boopy.
I'm more of a boopy than a boogie. I will say this though, how he's a baller. That kid's a stud. And I think Chinnilu's defensive player of the year. But I don't think it's got to be enough for Florida to get there.
Okay, let's talk about the last interesting game of the Thursday slate. We already kind of previewed it. SLU against Georgia, another one of these like mid-major versus P4 matchups with a tight spread. Georgia's a 1.5 favorite where I see total 169.5. I know we like this SLU team based on the earlier commentary. How are you betting this, Nick? I know you like them in the potential second round matchup, but do you like them against Georgia? How are you betting this squad?
I haven't taken them, but I feel like I'll probably end up pulling the trigger on a St. Louis spread. They're probably got to be really popular underdogs, and it is what it is. But I think if they can shoot the ball well, which is dangerous to trust in March, I think they're going to win this game comfortably and put up a great fight against Michigan. But we'll see. I'm not too set on it either.
The other thing that's hard about March is as you look down the bracket, you kind of have the matchups you want to see, and that can kind of cloud your betting judgment in the current matchup. So that's a tough thing to manage just psychologically.
Like St. Louis has looked awful to end of the year. They were down like 20-30 to VCU a few weeks ago and miraculously came back and won. And then other than that, they have a few tough losses towards the end of the year. Like they've been on a downward slope. So it's hard to back a team that's trending in the wrong direction. Like you want to bet a team when they're playing their best ball coming into the tournament. But what do you guys have to say about this one?
I heard public dog, so that tells me Darth Vader's got a take. I'm gonna send it over to him if my spidey senses are correct.
They are correct, and I'm on Georgia money line.
I love it. Trust the system. Patrick, round out the trio for us. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have a lean here, but I do love whoever comes out of this game against the spread against Michigan. I think they both match up as far as being offensively powerhouse and heavy. I think they both match up well against Michigan. So nothing here. I was born in Georgia, so if I had to lean somewhere, I'll take Georgia. But I do like in either of these teams against Michigan against the spread.
Cool. I'm trying to see who I have Michigan getting upset by.
Get the
I bet it's you were talking about Bama. I'm sure it's Bama, right?
Yep, it sure is. Yep.
There you go.
Sweet 16.
A little Michigan not to make the Elite Eight future seems like a consensus play here.
That kind of sounds nice. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, there's two more games on Thursday. These are the nightcaps. Neither of them have a particularly close spread. Gonzaga is a 21.5-point favorite against Kennesaw State in a 3-14 matchup. Houston is a 23.5-point favorite against Idaho in a 2-15 matchup. Is there anything worth discussing in those two games that you guys like, or should we hop to kind of our best bet segment and get ready to wrap this outstanding stream?
I like Gonzaga to cover. It's weird. I feel like Gonzaga every year is always hyped up. They've kind of flown under the radar. They're one of those trapezoid of excellence, whatever the hell that is, teams out of like the 5. So I think they're well-rounded, and I think they're going to run Kennesaw State out of the gym. And then for the Houston game, they kill inferior opponents. They help teams like 50, 40 points. I'd have the under in this game. I don't even think Idaho is going to get to 50 points. So I like Gonzaga and Houston, or the under in the Houston game. But I like Gonzaga to roll against Kennesaw, so I have against the spread there.
Chalky.
Yeah. Very chalky, yeah.
I mean, I like both those picks, that under, and I like the Gonzaga spread, but I'm not on either of them yet. But we'll check it out. There's one game that I'm interested in talking about that we haven't mentioned this entire stream.
Tell us.
That's Iowa. That's Iowa versus Clemson. I mean, where'd that game go?
Is Iowa
That's on
Clemson?
Friday.
We're limiting it to Thursday, man. We only got an hour and a half to work through this puppy.
That's on me. That's on me.
We can give us your take. What a prologue there.
We could keep it short, but I think Iowa. That's it.
The Hawkeyes.
I'm gonna make it spicy. I disagree. I'm sorry.
You guys are
of course.
Somebody's not going to be happy by the weekend.
I'm not a believer in Bennett Sturts. I don't think Iowa plays winning basketball. And their offense is just so stagnant. You know, it's just him dribbling the ball for 20 seconds and, you know, hoping to get open for a 3. And it's just so easy to game plan against them. Like they did play really well against Michigan towards the end of the year, but I don't know. I really like Clemson in that one. I'm definitely taking the spread on Friday for Clemson.
Yeah, I think the first team to get to 50 points wins. It's going to be a very lethargic.
It's going to be a slow pace.
Yeah.
Possessions are got to come, you know, at an expense. But that'll be a really good game on Friday. That'll be one of those games where you watch start to finish.
Okay, I think we're done with Thursday. Let's go around the horn. Best bet. I already got 11 bets written down for.
Oh, I want to flex something real quick since we're talking about Houston. I snagged Houston -9.5.
Yeah.
At opening line on Monday, and I seen they're up to 23.5 now. So
I tried to get it.
Good.
And I feel like as soon as I submitted it, it went like to 20.5. And I was like, oh, should I really take it there? And then it went to 21.5. And I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
That one moved quick.
I got them at 19.5. I got UConn also at 18.5. And then I got Duke at 27.5. And they've all moved a point or two. Those are the only 3 heavy favorites I took. You know, I'm not taking 30.5 like we talked about earlier, but I had no problem taking Houston at that number. I think they're going to win by 30, 35, 40.
If you're listening and you have a time machine, go grab that CLV Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
How do you guys think? But seriously, how do you guys think about when you're seeing a number move that much? Do you like chasing the steam and being on the side? Do you have a philosophy around punching back against the steam when the number's moving so much, or do you just kind of stay away? The CLV's already been had. I'm leaving it alone.
I kind of like going with the steam, especially if it kind of agrees with my rationale and logic, especially if the sharper books like Circa, Pinnacle, and Bookmaker are leading the charge, then you know it's legit. So I kind of like going with it, but I also got to see where the public money's going. I know Darth Vader is probably going to say if the public's all over it, then he's not going to go with it.
Yeah, so what I was actually going to say is, what you said, if the public is on the opposite side and it's moving, if it's moving with the public, I like that, because, I mean, that's just more points that I get to take. But I also mentioned earlier, I like to see, what the line looks like when it does move. So if it moves and, the spread is a -112, -115. Usually I like that, but there's also one other factor that I like to take into consideration, which is comparing similar numbers in the March Madness tournament. So say that they were a minus 20.5, right? I'll just go look. I'll look at the minus 20.5's money line, see how strong their money line is, and then I'll go compare it to another minus 20.5 and see how strong that minus 20.5's money line is, and I'll kind of go from there. Because I feel like the books will strengthen that money line based on how confident they are in them winning and dominating. Because you'll sometimes see a minus 20.5 at minus 2,200 or minus 2,300, and then you'll go look at another minus 20.5 and it'll be at like minus 1,950, and like that right there will set a tone, set something off in my brain where it's like, okay, this minus 20.5, that's minus 2,300. It's probably the best bet on the spread, especially with that movement. So that's kind of where I like to gaze my eyes. That's usually where I'm reading my numbers at.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. We are running out of time here. Let's give best bet of the stream. I forgot to highlight these amazing promos you guys are running. Let's start with 11 bets. $10 for 1 month of plays. That is available in the replies of the comment. Thank you for making that available as part of the stream. I got your best bet from the stream as BYU money line, much to the chagrin of Darth Vader over there.
Yeah, we're Mormon correct? On Thursday. Oh yeah, we're Mormon on Thursday night.
Let's go.
Let's
go. Darth Vader Picks, kind enough to offer 50% off a 1 month package. That's available in the replies. Give us your best play of the stream.
We're gonna rock with the play-in game and take SMU minus 7.5.
Oh wow! You just don't want to do Thursday. You're so anti-Thursday.
I could give you. I think UCF is my buy stock in UCF. So
I think UCF's Friday too. You're allergic to Thursday.
Oh my goodness!
That's hilarious. We're rolling with SMU. We're rolling with SMU.
SMU play-in. Give me the play-in game.
Wednesday,
Thursday. Just give the card out, bro. Just give the full card out.
Oh my God, that's epic. P down. Give us something on Thursday. Best play of the stream.
Whoops.
Yep. So we talked Houston under. We talked McNeese against the spread. High point over, but I love Gonzaga minus 18.5. I think they run Kennesaw out of the gym.
Cool. And P down, thank you. $10 for 1 week of plays. There's so much action this time of year. It's a great time to try out a new capper to really get a vibe, see if it's a great fit for you. Thank you all for a really fun stream. I knew it was going to be fun, and you guys delivered. Ton of value. Let's go at least help me have a better March, because this time of year I always get banged up after stacking some units throughout the season.
No, this is fun. Appreciate it, guys. Love chopping.
No, it's been a good time.
Talk soon, everybody.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you guys.
Peace.
Thank you, guys. Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, you as well.
Am I over? Did I end?